doing regarding our chickens that are now about 7, possibly 8 weeks old, and they've been with us for about 3 to 4 weeks now. They're getting massive really quick, and the box that they go to bed at night in the garage is no longer sort of adequate. So the dawning realisation of the fact that we can't even get to the shop to buy wood has slowly sunk in. So we've been trying to find what we've got laying around and knock something up out of that. So we did luckily have an old shed which the previous guy manufactured. We've managed to salvage a lot of old oak off of that. Thankfully he felled a lot of trees himself, so a lot of it, despite being 30 years old, is actually still reusable. A lot of it wasn't. We do hoard a lot in the garage, like by way of nails and screws, so we've been all right there. Also got some old tin roofing on the floor there that we're going to be using. A lot of that was good, some wasn't, and we're going to try and see what we can cobble together. Also got a couple of tarps which have come in handy for waterproofing, and we'll go and show you what we've done so far. So here we've got the base. It's basically like a rectangle frame, and we've put the best cuts of some of the salvaged wood. The downside is it's got to be built in modules because it weighs a ton and you can't lift it if it was all put together. So we've got a floor there, it's about 4 meters squared, and we've cobbled 2 walls together, slightly angled so that the roof runs away, and we've used the old tarpaulin, if you can see down there, to line them both so that you know, it keeps the draft and whatnot out. And we've basically clad them, they're the 2 side walls, so we've clad them so they'll go on the sides. We've got an old desk that we've cobbled together bits and pieces of to do a drop door, that will come, you know, be more apparent a bit later on. And we've got all of this leaning up against the back of the house that we're still to make the back and the front with. This is the nesting box that's been made. We don't have any surplus wood as mentioned before, so this has basically been made out of an old bed base that we could find. Basically it'll lift up like that, and there we go, and you can retrieve the eggs quite easily. It basically gets attached onto the outside of the back wall of the house, so that's about as much as you can do of it at the minute. It needs waterproofing, but that will come. And then it's going to be taken over the other side to fix onto the main house. It's going to go together a bit like a puzzle. So I'll take you over there and show you that. Right, so here we are over the other side, and there is the base in situ, up on the old breeze blocks that we've sort of found in this structure here. So put that up on breeze blocks, makes the whole house then stand at about, I'd say, 1.5 meters, possibly 2 meters in some places. It weighs an absolute ton, the base alone. It took 4 of us to move it and about 20 minutes to negotiate it over here. But that's in place now. So like we say, the best of the pieces can come over, and it's a bit like a puzzle and gets put together all at the end. Okay, so this is where we're at. Kids have linseeded it, so it's oiled. Nesting box is on. We've got an old kitchen handle, and it's obviously been waterproofed all inside. So you've got 2 nesting boxes, so that's that bit done. The back has now been clad as well, although not treated yet. Roof is still to go on, and we've now also just about started to clad up the front. So we've got the opening here that will ultimately be the door that you can climb in to clean out, and there'll be a drop door in there as well for the chickens to come in and out. That's a smaller dimension. So that's it inside. There's your nesting boxes at the back. This bit here, where it's a slight higher size at the back than it is to the front, that will be dressed. That was just a temporary thing to stop the plastic blowing in the meantime. So these old sticks will come out, and there'll be a nice neat triangle in there full of chicken wire that we can then box off. That can be open for ventilation and shut. It'll be the same that side. So basically that's where we've got to, and it's a bit windy and it is icy cold, the wind, despite the sunshine. So we're going to call it a day now and carry on again with it tomorrow. There is the house as far as we've got. Spent a long time trying to sort out these 2 crossbars at the top there. They were just like sticks originally holding bits and pieces in, but they're now solid bits of wood, and we should be able to fit chicken wire in here, which will allow sort of like light and ventilation, but can also be closed off come the winter. The other bit that was a right pain in the backside was the door. So we've now got a door. We have a door here. It opens and closes finally, which is something so simple you wouldn't believe the grief it gave us. And in the said door we found this on an old desk, which will basically go up and down, allowing the, if you can see there, allowing the gap at the bottom for the chicks to come in and out. That needs a little handle, but that's the drop door for the chickens access, and then this is the main door that will open as and when you want to get in and clean it out. So as I said, these two crossbars have been replaced. They're much sturdier now, so they can take the roof. We've really only got the cladding of the front to do. Cladding there, cladding of the door, and the roof will go on and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so here we have now finished the cladding. Goes right the way round, and the door's been clad as well. We've got the sliding door in with the rope here just to hook it up so that it doesn't just sort of drop down and slide out of its runners. Also combined that there with a bit of ironmongery that we had lying around. So we've just sort of tacked that to the bottom so that it can't fall out. The door was a pain in the butt, but it now works lovely, opens smoothly, shuts smoothly. We've put the rim round there, sort of the lip round the inside, so that the door sort of snuggles up nicely to that and keeps the drafts out. The next bit we really need to focus on here is the ramp for the chickens to come in and out. Then hopefully we should be in a position to get the roof on. Another little feature is we've applied the chicken wire on the inside to stop the vermin getting in and out. That's now sort of, you know, a nice tight fit, so there's really no way of getting anything in there. We keep the plastic there so it can be pushed up to keep the drafts out when you get a windy day like today. Apart from that, the house is pretty much now ready for the roof to go on. Needs a coat of linseed, and that's what we'll be doing next. We've been working on this, which is the ramp for going up and down. It's been recessed on the back side here just to show that it can be sort of rested on and fixed into place. You have to excuse us, it is very windy. It's a bit warmer today, but the wind is still really bitter. So this is where that's been sorted. So we'll go over now and get everything fixed into place. So here we have the house with the roof now fitted. Put this on yesterday in the bitter cold. It's a bit more long-winded than we thought, but basically it's 6 panels all in, and they've been tacked down. We're hoping that we haven't left too much of an overhang for the wind to be a problem. But basically there is the house. Here we have the door opening, and this is where we're going to hopefully fit the ramp. I'm just trying to work whereabouts it will go. While we're busy getting that cut, I'm just going to show you what the house looks like. I'm not sure if it's going to be too dark inside. It's a quick inside view of what the house looks like. Nested boxes at the back. The chickens will basically come out into the outdoor world, and then they can be shut in at night. So here we have the ramp in place. So the chickens will access in and out like that. That's it, and they'll come at the hole and they'll come down their ramp. So that's the next bit done. Really are just on the finishing touches now, so that's the next one on the list. So some extra little optional add-ons. We've got this plank here, this angled piece here that will go on and be tacked on for the winter months to block the holes, and for the summer months when we don't need them, they simply come off and they get stowed away, and then you can hold the plastic down. It basically, as you can see right through to the other side, it lets nice air fence and daylight in. So that's another little optional extra. The next in the line of our little accessories is the perch. So basically just found an old broom handle, 2 bits of tree, and then we've just stuck it up on legs. So that should be enough of a perch for the chicks. Moving on to next accessory. Okay, finishing touch, the last of them. We now have the bolt on the door, so no animals in at night, nice and secure, door fits nice and firm. Right, good morning. We are out in the chicken run, which is the current temporary layout. We have brought some of this chicken fencing by Voss, this company, Voss Farming. Basically, it runs the entire perimeter of the area we're using this week, and it can be changed as and when the grass gets worn down, so probably every couple of weeks, possibly once a month, depending on how much they eat through. It currently goes right round the back here. You can't really see it. The chickens are on their first wander down this end. They don't know their luck today. The sun's out, it's warm, and they've only just worked out in the last hour really that they can actually come this far. It goes right round the edge here, comes back on us here, and we are ending it back where we started over here. Just for now, it can be extended. We've got 50 metres of it, and if you combine it with existing chicken wire fence at the back there, you can make the run really quite a size. That's it, so I'll take you over to see them. They currently venture in where Holly is. It's not been pulled very taut at the moment because they haven't quite worked out that if they wanted to escape they could, but you can pull it a lot tauter. Run a wire around the top that's also electrified, and it can be wedged in. We've got sort of undulations in the ground, so there are little gaps. If they really tried they could get under, but it's just the first venture out. They can't sleep in the house yet because the nights are still a bit too cold, but it's just getting them used to their being around the house, under the house for the shade, and they've got a new feeder, a new water tray down there, so it's getting them used to that. So they'll venture out today and they'll go back to bed tonight. And here we are. We've opened the nesting box down the end so that you can let some light in. Basically all the cardboard you can see that's been nailed, and that kind of thick cartony stuff that almost looks a bit like plywood, very thin plywood, we've found, or we stole with permission, I might hasten to add, from the supermarket. It's what they put through or between the layers of the bottles of water that were for sale. And having tacked it on, it seems to be doing the job. It's really snug as a bug in here. And yeah, they were happy to spend their first night in there. Hello again. We're back 3 weeks down the road just to kind of show you how the chickens are getting on in their new house, and the fact that we've moved the run around and tried to make it a bit better given the fact that we're going to get a hot summer coming. So we'll just show you what we've done. So here are the chickens. We're here at the back of the house. The house, needless to say, hasn't moved. It wouldn't move it if we wanted to. But what we have done is moved the run that encircled it. Here they are. They're now fully fledged chickens. Some of them quite heavy, so they're going to be nice meat birds. We've got a lot of people hanging out in the house today due to the temperature. They seem to be quite happy with it. Generally hanging out, quite unbothered. So they're lovely big birds now. But what we decided to do was try and move the run so that they could make the most of this canopy of oaks that we've got over the top here. It keeps a lot of the sun off and gives them some protection from the rain as well. And they get quite a nice big area now that goes right to the back there, using exactly the same fencing as we've shown you before. It just gives it a nice big area, lots of insects to be had, lots of scrabbling around, chickens like to do. And they generally seem to be quite good chickens, quite happy. So thanks for watching. Hope it hasn't been too boring, and possibly even inspired somebody to go do the same if you want to keep chickens at home. Bonus for us is the whole thing has cost absolutely nothing, so we're tickle pink. All right then, thanks.